Hello and welcome to the Eddie Network podcast. My name is Ed Bruniger and I'm the host. This is a special uh, episode of the podcast in that it is a compilation of three visits to a place in Star, North Carolina called Starworks, as you see over my shoulder. This is a collection of art studios that are located in a former hosiery mill. A lot of hosiery mills closed in the 70s and 80s in North Carolina, and communities lost lots of jobs for that reason. And so people in these communities began to be creative in how they sought to utilize the assets they have. And one of the assets were all these empty factory buildings. And so the people at Starworks have created a pretty special place. And I had heard about it, and I decided to come visit. And I was passing through Star on my way home from the beach 2 or 3 weeks ago, after being with my family. And I went in, and not knowing what I was going to find, walked through the front door there, as you see there, and found this large gallery of all kinds of art. Um, Mostly glass, pottery, metal, things like that, and not just traditional things, but very extraordinary creative things. And a woman named Claire, who's one of the communications people out there, she met me and she walked me back to the glass studio, and that's what you're going to see. You're going to see my visit to the glass studio, and I'm watching a guest artist who's in residency for a month, Helmi Remes from Finland. And we're going to see her and two different teams working with her to create the art that you will see at the very end of this episode. I have a lot of footage. I will make it as short as possible, but I want you to kind of grasp the flow of the work that is going on with these people, and the communication and the collaboration that is happening, where Helmi is leading. She's the designer of these sculptures, but they're the ones who are producing it, and it's just very good. One of the interviews that you'll see in this episode is with Joe Grant, who is a glassblower, and he is soon to take over the leadership of this organization, Starworks. And so we talked for a few minutes, and then at the very end of our episode, I'll have a long conversation with Helmi as she talks about her work and what it means. And I think you'll find it one of the most unusual and special episodes that I've ever had on the podcast. So here we go at Starworks. Helmi Remes, and glassblowing. Give me your name.
My name's Joe Grant.
Joe Grant, and you're a glassblower.
Yes,
Glass artist.
I'm a glass artist first and foremost. I went through a Master's of Fine Arts degree at Virginia Commonwealth University. I've taught glass blowing, and then I've run this glass studio for about 11, 12 years.
Yeah.
And I'm just now becoming the next executive director of Starworks.
So why does Starworks exist?
Starworks exists because great artists need a place to make great artwork. And we have the expertise and the equipment to make those things happen for almost anyone in the world. We're also, we're a community arts program in the sense that this part of the state is a little bit of a cultural desert and needs access to great arts, both education and programming. So, there's an amazing exhibition out there right now that anybody can come to.
Yeah.
And on a daily basis, you can see artists like Helmi, who's visiting from Finland, making their work. So we're helping make their work come to life.
I'm very impressed with what you have here.
Thanks.
I mean, a lot of cities have this kind of place.
Yeah.
They have a lot of funding and
Yeah.
a lot of support, and it's not that they take it for granted, but their world is different
That
than
is
yours.
definitely a little bit what's unique about us is that we're sort of in a rural community.
So what is this arts community contribute to Montgomery County, North Carolina?
Yeah, well, to Montgomery County, North Carolina, we have on the education side, we've always provided classes that anyone from the public can sign up for. Over the last 11 years, we've also taught glassblowing classes and play classes through local high schools. We worked with a group called the Eckerd. What is it? Eckerd is a place for at-risk youth to go through. If they matriculate, they kind of get back on the front, the right path. We've done work with them for about 8 years. COVID made a lot of that stuff a little difficult. But then we are a resource for arts education, arts programming in terms we have lots of events that people come to as well as exhibitions. And then we're taxpayers. So, we're a pretty big taxpayer in the county as well.
So
it makes us a destination.
would it be fair to say that having an arts community in a rural community like this is an attractive place for other artists to come and find a place to live?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Because the cost of living is probably less here than it would be in Winston-Salem where I live.
Yes. I mean, if you wanted to buy a house or even set up your own studio nearby and sort of become part of our community that the tourists would know about, it's a lot less expensive here than it is in some of the big cities. And that's something that we've been trying to encourage for a long time, is trying to get some of our artists to settle here.
Well, it's something I've seen the need for 30 years, and I've been pushing for that because what I see is that if you live in a large urban area, you're kind of isolated. You're isolated, and people think you live in a rural community, you're isolated. You're not isolated because you have.
Yeah, I mean,
you have neighbors, and it's
absolutely. I mean, two things. Like on the state level, we are within an hour and a half of 8 million plus people.
Right.
So even though it feels like we're kind of nestled in the Uwharrie Forest,
I'm an hour from here.
Yeah, so Raleigh, Durham, Winston-Salem, Greensboro, Charlotte are all within a pretty close striking distance.
90 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the state level, we're part of that larger state community, but we're also part of a global community.
So is there an organization, an association of places like this that supports you and you all support each other? Like I'm thinking about like the Sawtooth people in Winston-Salem. I'm thinking about like the people up in CeeLo, at Black Mountain, Asheville, all over where you have people who are doing arts and crafts work.
Yeah, so it's interesting. All of those places are groups that we're familiar with and are friends with and work with. Our funding is generally not tied together. We don't really have ways of, that's part of what happens is that organizations that are in a specific location tend to get kind of insular. They have businesses around them, individuals around them that will support them, and that's part of our goal, is to get more people to know about us and extend our reach into further regions. Because we're in such a rural location, we really need the support of people who can see the amazing things that we're doing to come visit us, buy things from our store, and then become donors and hopefully longtime supporters.
Well, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty cool.
Because I see this as a really bright light, or a bright star, shall we say,
Yeah.
in the firmament of not just Star, but Troy and Bisco, but of the whole county and really the whole region. I
Yeah.
mean, you're not far from I guess the next town over is Ashboro, major town.
Yep. Ashboro going that way, Southern
Rock-
Pines,
Southern Pines,
Rockingham.
Rockingham.
Yeah.
And all those places have had their strengths in the past, but my sense is, as I look at the way the future is unfolding, is that they have to find ways to collaborate with other towns their size,
Sure.
just like you have to do that with arts groups that are similar in nature. Somehow you have to figure out,
Oh, yeah.
how do we survive, how do we promote each other, how do we support each other.
Yeah. Definitely, and in one way is that some of the ways that we support each other is actually having great conversations. You know, leaders in all those institutions, we all tend to have ways to connect and have great conversations about what's working and what's not working. You know, you don't always have to reinvent the wheel. If you see
Right.
something that's
Absolutely.
successful in one place, it's easy to see how that might be implemented in your region. And a lot of just telling each other and telling people about each other, so that there's, you know, we have a great relationship with Seagrove and all of the potteries over there. You know, that becomes a really significant source of tourism, is they tell people about us, we tell people about them.
So you do ceramics, pottery, you do glass. What else do you do here?
We also have a metals program.
Metals program.
Yeah, so that's kind of our newest material. Mac Metz is the head of our metals program, so we do some welding classes, some blacksmithing classes. We're starting to sort of foray into some, what is he calling it, sort of found objects,
Yeah.
sculpture classes, where you can use metal techniques to assemble things that you find.
Well, you'll love this story. I published a book in 2018 called Circle of Impact, taking personal initiative to ignite change. And I was traveling the country doing book events. I'm in a Barnes & Noble in Salt Lake City, and this large guy comes in this multicolored coat and comes over to my table. And his name is Yulin. And Yulin introduces himself and said, "So Yulin, what do you do?" He says, "Oh, I'm a welder for one of the mining companies here in the valley." I said, "Well, how's that going?" He says, "Well, I'd like to do more. I keep asking to do more, but they just want me to do welding." I said, "Well, have you ever thought about going to community college and learning how to do metal fabrication?" He says, "No." He says, "Because what you could do, you could, with your welding skills and metal fabrication skills, you can start creating public art." And the look on his face was like, "Oh my, I could do that." I mean, it's like a birth of a belief in himself happened in that moment, merely because someone suggested to him, if you add this to what you already know how to do, you can make something that's really significant.
Yeah, I mean, creative entrepreneurship and starting small creative businesses like that, that's what it's all about. And part of our goal is also supporting those artists, you know.
Yeah.
You know, part of what we're trying to teach people, the public and the artists, is that that support is a required part of the circle, right? Arts doesn't exist if there's not support for it.
Well, thank you for taking time to talk to me. We're going to talk some more at another time.
Sounds great.
Because I think there's more to discuss. And I just really love being here and watching this creative process. And I'll just say one more thing. So when I met Helmi the other day, she was telling me that she's the designer and these are the people who are making the sculpture. I said, bingo. So this is an image of what leadership is, where you have a leader and the people who are doing the work collaborating together, and this is, to me, a picture of what the future is.
Yeah.
Right here.
Excellent. Well, it's great to see you back again. Thanks for coming.
I'll be back.
Shoot the whole thing pretty much. Okay. Get ready to blow. Helmi, tell her when to stop. Now we'll squish it. Whack it in. You're like. Then we're gonna squash it. Like squash.
So you're designing this sculpture.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Helmi's piece. I'm simply a manufacturer. Or what do you call
What
it?
a privilege.
You are the boss.
You're the boss.
But that's a privilege that you have.
Oh yeah, I love it. I don't like to think of everything. I like it when other people's creativity comes to
Right.
life. Happy? Stop somewhere. Flip. Flip. Flip.
Oh, I see it.
Flip. 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 Marks.
Yeah.
I'll give you one mark. You have to move.
Fast movement. Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
leave
exactly.
lines and
And then
stuff.
it makes like the wall is like.
Do you see what needs to happen? Tapping, flipping, flip. Flip.
I like now when it's a little bit more rounded, you know.
Okay.
But like I think
On
it's
the
good.
sides.
Yeah.
Can you blow a little?
Maybe we should a little bit.
Like longer?
Yeah.
Out here.
Not necessarily longer, but wait a second.
There's lots of material there.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want. Flashing.
You can also
Throwing light.
on the torch on this side.
Flash. I mean, stop.
Up.
One of those words.
No more.
Flip.
How about if we let the gravity do that job?
Okay.
And we need the like this area. Like you did.
The first time I tried to arbor the scene
Yeah.
where the Mylly meets the clear,
Yeah.
and I really went on the side,
Uh-huh.
and I think it pushed the Mylly
Like cement.
straight. Yeah.
Oh.
And this time I tried to kind of at an angle.
Finland.
Design of her piece is there. And the first piece was created on Friday, and I was here to watch them create that, and now they're working on this second piece. And it's really an amazing thing.
The heat, when it's so hot that it's orange,
Yes.
does the glass respond differently than when it's like it is now, which is less hot?
Like, what do you mean, response?
I don't know.
It's
Is there a difference in how it gets molded depending on how hot it is?
you can kind of see that from the color of the glass, and also how it feels in your hand, you know.
Uh-huh.
So when you gather fresh glass from the furnace, it's about like 1,100 degrees Celsius. But when you touch with the tools, it starts to cool down pretty fast.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to reheat all the time the glass in a reheating furnace. So, but you can.
But you don't want it too hot, right?
Yeah, no. If that is too hot and he gathers more glass on top of that, it will collapse. It will drop to the furnace actually. So that has to be right temperature. That the gaffer, they just know that. There's no way
that
to
only
measure.
comes by trying and learning.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not
That's
some
how
mental
yeah.
calculation.
Yeah, you can't measure the temperature. It's just
You know
like,
what it's in there, but you don't really know what it's
yeah,
on the stick.
yeah,
So that's why it's an art.
yeah, exactly. And isn't that I get like here often? I get ideas from everywhere. It can be trash on the floor. It can be music composed to a movie. It can be some poem, other art piece. I'll just like gather ideas.
The countryside.
Countryside, yeah. Of course, I get ideas when I go to forest and mushroom foraging, and that's.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now he blew that out, right? To make it like that large.
Yeah, we start flow now.
What is important to understand here is that Helmi is the designer, and these three people are the team that's doing the glass work. This is her team, and she's simply directing them. And it's a form of leadership which I just am marveling at, because it requires such extensive communication and knowledge of the precision of molding this glass.
Yeah, we'll attach it. We'll have a label. I want it to be at 11 when we go to pick up, but I don't want it to sit there for too long. I like 10:50.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm Helmi Remes, glass artist, designer from Finland. And yeah, I have been doing this now 15 years approximately. Glass is my main material, what I use in my art. I also work with wood and metal a little bit, but glass is the main focus. And now I'm here in Starworks Residency, Artist Residency, 1 month. And yeah, this is what I have been doing here.
So let's talk about what you've created here.
Yeah, we have my pieces are usually like abstract more than representative. Lately, I have been inspired by endangered plants and flowers, especially in the northern part of Finland, where there's only like small areas where you can find some particular flower. And usually they are like so small that you can't even notice that when you are walking in the nature. But sensitive, super small flowers. And I have like enlarged some details what I found from those flowers. When I came here, I started to a little bit study that what are the like the North Carolina's endangered plants and flowers, and I found really interesting shapes and colors, and also what I found that they are not so showy and maybe flowers that we recall beautiful, you know what I mean? You know, it's like a brown, like small, some moss, for example. So those are things that inspires me. And then I have done these, well, abstract sculptures. You can little bit see maybe references to like realistic forms of flowers or like branch, what I make here. But still I would say that these are abstract pieces. And these are going to be wall mounted, so these are hanging.
I like that.
We have put ready two holes. I will enlarge these a little bit, and then of course I have to cold work what I'm doing today. I will cold work these extra bits away, and then maybe make the surface completely matte, like here in these pieces, and then it's wall mounted.
How do you make this, like with matte?
Sandblaster, yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it's like the same with the metal that you sandblast the surface, and then I will put certain kind of like protection liquid on this, so it will be more shiny. It's not so matte, so it will look like wet glass.
Will you do that before you leave?
Yeah, I will do that on Monday.
Yeah. And I know it's a very simple question, I know, but how are you able to get these
lines?
Yes.
Yeah, that's called filigree technique. It's old Italian technique where you first pull glass color in a thin cane. We say cane. It's like a pencil thickness glass rod, and you can play with the colors that how you place the colors in that long cane. And what I usually do that I pull multiple times the cane, so then I'm able to have these really thin lines here. So basically these are just canes next to each other, which is gathered on top of hot glass and then melted in
And it's called filigree.
filigree.
Yeah.
And
Because
then-
that's used in jewelry too.
yeah, they use that same in jewelry.
Same. I don't know if it's the same method, but it's the same idea.
Same idea basically.
Yeah. Oh, that's very good.
Yeah, this is what I usually do. How I, it's something that really interests me. How I can play with the canes, so I can get some not clear stripes. Filigree technique is usually used especially in Venice, to create like a perfect lines or like a pattern that is like a mathematic order, it's like a super precise, and I want to break that pattern. That's why I have made these small
See, I like that.
dents, because I would like to aim that it looks like painting or drawing more like precise pattern. And this is same with these. You can't really see now very clearly that because it's so matte still, but after I put the liquid you can see that there's also those small
It's like folds.
folds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and same with these. This is completely unfinished. I will write that.
This is like what you were doing 2
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Yes, exactly. That's the piece. So,
Oh, this was the piece that you were working on?
no, well, we did that.
Or you had to do it again?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did do it again. Because the
And-
first attempt. we
And
did-
these are obviously connected.
Yeah.
So how, as a work of art, how do you see this positioned? If it's being exhibited, how do you see this piece exhibited? Does that make sense?
Like, what do you mean? Like how?
Like if it was in a gallery,
Yeah.
would it just sit like this, or would you
These are all wall mounted actually.
all
Yeah.
wall mounted?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was my goal here, that I want to make wall art pieces. I have been doing quite simple wall art pieces, like a basically flat ball that is just hung from the hook to the wall. But now I wanted to try, can I do like a little bit more complex shapes, and it can be still wall mounted. So that's why all these have this flat side.
Yes.
If this would be sculptures on a pedestal, then I wouldn't make this a flat side at all. Then I would concentrate more
it'd be-
like the overall shape.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the work you've done so far.
Yeah. I have been testing here new things. That was my goal. And like I didn't want to make exhibition series or pieces that I show somewhere. I really wanted to test new ways to use cane, and I haven't ever tried this shape, and it's you have to practice a little bit and then you find what you actually want.
Because the idea you have in your mind has to be communicated through your hands.
Yeah, and especially when I'm not myself carrying the hot glass.
And you're communicating it to the people who are
Yeah.
doing this. So what I noticed the other day when I was watching you with the three people who were your team is that this is a beautiful example of what leadership is.
Yeah.
So you're coaching them, but you're also the designer. So you're the
Yeah.
boss.
Yeah,
You're
kind of.
you're the one who everything hangs on.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to communicate with them so that they know precisely what you want from them,
Yes.
and then they have to be willing to put aside their own different ideas in order to fulfill your ideas.
Yeah. That is something that is challenging and sometimes difficult, but on the other hand, it's also really rewarding, and I feel that I can grow as a person every time when I work with team in a hot shop, because it's all about communication and and also like how you explain the other stuff that is not the actual object, my inspiration and what is important for me. Like I usually explain how I'm precise about certain kind of details. For example, how shapes are formed, or is there tool marks, or I want to avoid like tool marks, for example. So if I explain these things that are important for me in outcome, then the team know during the process that okay, let's take this into consideration in this point so that we have the end result good. So it's all about like communication about everything.
So I came for 2 different days,
Yeah.
and 2 of the people were the same, and there was a different person each time.
Yeah.
So you're having to, in a sense, recreate the team every time you get together.
Yeah. That I have to say that is a new situation. I usually work with people who I already know, and we have worked several years together. So here I was completely in a new situation, and suddenly I have to like say what I want to so many different people, but it worked well.
I have a friend named Judy who lives up in the mountains of North Carolina, and she's a glass artist. And
Oh.
I called her the other day, and
Yeah.
I told her about my experience of watching you work, and she says, "Yeah, that's kind of the coming thing, which is to do it as a team." He says, but she still does it as a lone person,
Yeah.
and she does really nice work. But
Yeah.
she's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
But when I saw that for the first time, I thought of Judy right away, and I thought,
Yeah.
"Oh, Judy would love to be here.
Yeah,
This would be great."
And it's it's all about like good teamwork. That all the team members they respect each other. It's like the assistant who is, for example, but like opening doors in a glory hall, the reheating furnace, or keeping a wood paddle. That is also like really crucial role what that assistant has. So it's all about like that the team members also know what is the skill level of each team member, and like it's sometimes wordless communication, that you just look a certain way so the other person knows what you want, or like it's
They all know who the weakest link is, don't they?
yeah, that's for sure. But it's sometimes the so-called weakest link can be the savior if something goes wrong.
Yes.
Or they can notice something that the actual glassblower is not noticing. For example, if there's some crack somewhere, they can notice that because they are a little bit further in that process. So it's like a
So
choreographic.
how old were you when you first had the inspiration to work with glass?
I was 17 when I went to visit in a private hot shop in Finland, and I saw glass blowing first time, and it was. I can't even explain what it was. I just knew that I want to study glass. I want to know everything.
Had you been an artist before that?
No.
Oh, so
No,
this
but
is,
my parents are both artists, so it comes from there.
so you had some family
Yeah.
background.
So I went to study ceramics and glass design actually, so I have a degree from ceramics too. But I haven't done any ceramics since I decided that glass is the thing.
This is great. So, is there a community of glass artists around the world?
Yes, glass field is quite small around the world, so quite many people know each other, and these kind of places like Starworks, it's a perfect way to create new networks, and we have been talking with the director Joe here that how we know same people
Yes.
but we didn't met before. So yeah, it's pretty small community around the world, and that's good because that's how the information also spreads and new techniques, and it's supportive company.
So, for example, in Finland, how many say colleague artists are there for you?
Oh, that's a difficult question. Finland is a small country. We have only 5.5 million people in the whole country. We have one glass factory, Iittala glass factory, still running in Iittala. There's, I don't know how many employees there are, but studios, I would say that less than 10.
Yeah.
So it's quite small community.
Well, that sounds like a lot.
Yeah, Finland has a history with the glass, design glass and factory made glass.
And how does Finland compare to Norway and Sweden in this? Are they? I think they're larger countries, right?
Yeah, now I don't remember. Sweden is definitely a lot larger, but Norway I think it's a little bit smaller. But in Norway there's only few studios, but in Sweden there's multiple studios there, and they have also this old glass town or village in the middle of the country.
Is there? I ask sometimes dumb questions. Is there such a thing as a Scandinavian style of art?
Yeah.
When it comes to, in particular, comes to class, or is that so individual to the?
I think that at least it used to be like that, but maybe it's now a little bit changing. That it's not so that the artists are. I think it comes from the factory production, the Scandinavian minimalistic style, quite often thick glass objects with clear glass, not so much playfulness maybe. But I think with the private studios and the individual artists, they are a little bit breaking the traditional styles.
Because here in the U.S., the only thing we think of when we think of Scandinavia is IKEA.
Yeah, that's sad. I have to say that it's a little bit sad, yeah. But there is a Scandinavian aesthetics clearly involved in glass scene. At least in my work, I noticed that I have that. One of my biggest idols is a Finnish designer Tapio Virkkala, and his pieces are quite minimalistic and clean. Not.
Sounds like someone I should interview.
He's passed away. I think he died in the 70s already or 80s. Anyway,
He's my age. I'm 72.
I don't know when he born. I'm sorry. Yeah.
But
anyway, he's a great. You should Google.
he's a contemporary, probably, of Juhani Pallasmaa.
Juhani Pallasmaa. Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah, I know he's.
He's an architect and a artist philosopher.
Yeah, I know his houses, what he has designed. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I interviewed him. It's interesting. It's a part of the world that I've never been to, and I find it interesting.
You should come visit.
It's at the top of my bucket list.
Yeah.
You know, Denmark and the Scandinavian countries.
Yeah,
and
they are so close to each other that you could make a round trip in Sweden.
So what's the chief thing you're taking away from your residency at Starworks? What's that essence or thing that has kind of come to you that says, this is really important, and I want to hang on to this as I go back home and I reestablish myself at home?
I have to say that in a very long time I had here time to actually think of my artistic practice and what I want to express, and maybe that's something that now I I start to have like a clear vision what I want to do next with my art. And also I have to say that the communication, what I talked earlier, that I want to be better at that because I work with teams. I have learned so much things about myself, and also I have learned to be more self-confident with my ideas, because that's one part of the communication, that you have to be clear with your how you communicate with the team. They can't know what you are doing or what you want if you don't say clearly. So that's something that I really wanna do things, is what I wanna do next, how I'm gonna develop this cane technique, and then the communication part.
I think this is fantastic. I really like this
thank you.
filigree, and I think there's a lot that you can do with that.
Yeah, there is a lot. I have been working with these filigree canes a lot, but now I really know what I want to do next. And this is the perfect reason why artist residencies are important, that people can focus on testing. They don't have pressure to do like ready objects for exhibitions.
What is the future of art in the world? Is it going to grow, or is it going to
In a world or in Finland?
Well, we can talk about both. In Finland, let's talk about Finland first.
No, Finland is now, I think, a little bit in a difficult situation because the economics are going down mainly because of the war and what is happening in the world in general. So for artists, I have to say that it's tricky times and it's challenging. But on the other hand, I feel that there's a younger generation who really appreciate handmade individual objects rather than mass-produced factory furnitures, art.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's
so
encouraging.
I think there is some positive things will happen in the art field too.
Because I see art as one of those things which is defining a time that we're in. You know, and some art that is, the old brutalist architecture of the 20th century was defining what life was like in those countries where brutalist art was, But where you see beauty coming out, that's a sign that people are finding something beautiful in their lives and finding something beautiful in their environment.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a signal of something growing, emerging, that is a good thing.
Yeah, I agree totally. And art doesn't have to be necessarily beautiful, and that doesn't have to be the goal why artists are making art. But I feel that it has to give feelings and emotions to people, and that's the main thing with art, that it gives you a good feeling, or something vibrates inside you.
Well, I can tell you that watching you work inspired me.
Oh, thank you.
And the fact that you're doing this, the fact that I can come and see you work, and was a privilege. And because I don't think that we have access to artists in that way for most people.
Yeah, that's true.
And we don't get to see you do the things that you do to create the things that we have an appreciation for. So thank you for letting me intrude and be a part and appreciate and all of that.
Thanks for coming. This is my pleasure. I like to explain about the processes. I think it's important that people can see glass blowing. In Finland, there's only a few places where you can actually see glass blowing.
Well, you know that when you mention glass blowing, blowing. The only place that ever gets talked about is Murano.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been to Murano. I said, yeah, of course you have. Everybody goes to Venice, goes to Murano, which is what they should. I mean, it's even I've been there, and I love what they do, and it's an amazing thing. When I was there 30 years ago, over 30 years ago, they were doing a chandelier that was going to go into some palatial estate. I mean, it would be like a third of the size of the width of this room.
Yeah.
I mean, it was going to be huge.
Yeah, they are massive.
And it was amazing to watch them do this. And I just have an appreciation for people who have talent and skill and are able to create things which all the rest of us say, how did they do that?
Yeah, exactly. And with glass, it's like learning process all the time. Like even people who have been blowing glass 30 years, they can learn something new every day.
Yeah.
On the job. And that's maybe why it's so addicting in a way.
Yeah.
That when you touch the glass first time, you want to do it. Like you want to learn more and more all the time. It's so challenging.
Well, thank you for
Thank you.
taking some time for me to talk with you today, and
Of course.
and I do appreciate what you've created and really like it.
Thank you.
I wish you well, and
too.
and if you would connect me with other artists
Yes, definitely.
who I can interview,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
that's been one of my goals for this year with the podcast, is to interview more artists. And
Yeah.
one of the things I did was start a poets playlist. So I've interviewed some poets, and I want to start an opera playlist.
Oh.
So I have a friend in Vienna who's an opera singer, and she's connected me with some people, and
Okay.
so but you see, these are things that people don't know anything about.
Yeah.
They'll see it on YouTube, and that's as far as they ever get.
Yeah.
So they need to have some kind of personal
Yeah.
view of it, and so that's what we've had today.
Definitely. I will think if I come up with some. I mainly know glass people. But
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. I mean, people who are artistic, people who are creative in what they do, whatever they approach, and not simply following some kind of procedure.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a procedure to class. I'm not,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
but they're playing with the form
Yeah.
to create something of that's
Unique.
unique and
Yes.
valuable. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You've enjoyed this episode of the Eddie Network podcast as we've watched Helmi Remes and her two teams create beautiful works of glass art. And you can actually purchase some of Helmi's work at her website, which is linked in the show notes. And I would encourage you, if you are in the region of North Carolina, anywhere within a couple of hours of Star, which is at the very center of the state, I would encourage you to stop by Starworks and see what they're doing there. And they'll greet you with open arms and really glad hearts to say, hey, glad you're here, and I hope you enjoy seeing what we're doing. So thank you for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the YouTube and the Substack channels, because that helps me and helps also you know that when the next episode is released. And we'll see you next time here on the Eddie Network podcast. Bye-bye.